Welcome to the Forsyth Magazines podcast. I'm Brooke Eagle, your host, bringing you the stories of the people shaping our community. From business owners to local leaders, we'll explore their journeys, passions, and lessons learned. Let's dive in. Hey guys, I am here today with Abby and Tammy with the Crisis Control Ministries, and I'm so excited to chat with them about a very special event that is coming up soon. And I'm going to have them introduce themselves. So Abby, you are first.
Hello, everyone. I'm Abby McCall. I'm the Director of Community and Volunteer Relations at Crisis Control, and I have been there 5 years. I love helping assist neighbors as they overcome their crises and just helping to connect people to our mission.
Awesome. What about you, Tammy?
Hi, I'm Tammy Cottle. I'm the Public Relations and Marketing Manager at Crisis Control, and I've only been there. This is my third year on staff, but I've worked with Crisis Control for many, many years, longer than I'll probably want to admit for my age. But Crisis Control has been doing Hope du Jour for 35 years now.
Wow.
Now, I didn't actually work with them on the first one. I will say I'm not quite that old, but I did work with them, had an advertising agency before, and I worked with them on many Hope du Jour. So I'm really excited about our upcoming 35th anniversary for Hope du Jour.
Yeah, 35 years. Mm-hmm. So Hope du Jour is the same age as me. It started in 1990. So that's pretty.
Thank you for that.
Now I can remember how old it is. That's pretty old for an event. Like, that's pretty impressive that it's been going on for this long.
It really is impressive for an event. But the wonderful thing about it is it's a win-win event. Actually, it was 35 years ago that several restaurant owners, one of them was Greg Murphy, or Murphy Greg. I always get his name backwards. I will have to apologize.
Was he
for that.
Murphy's Lunch?
No.
No, that was Diamondback,
okay.
which just sold and has new ownership, but they're still in for Hope du Jour this year. But he was one of the restaurant owners that came to us and said, hey, back in that time, we were in the middle of a recession. Things were challenging for restaurants. What could we do that would be a win-win for both the restaurants and for people who needed assistance? So they came up with the idea of Hope du Jour, which is always the first Tuesday of every May, and it was a Tuesday because that was a slow day for restaurants. So right now we're signing up restaurants, but restaurants just love to be in because they actually give us 10% of the proceeds from that day, but they report to us that they get more than 10% increase in their sales that day.
Oh, so it's well worth it.
So for restaurants, it's a win. We promote them all year. They're on the website all year long, and we promote them all year long. So it's a really good thing to help promote those restaurants. And we like a lot of folks who come to us maybe in the food service industry and need assistance. So that was another thing, is we wanted to be able to help those folks. But it's a great time for folks to be able to go out. You get together with friends, you go out and have a great meal, and you can go to a new restaurant or a favorite restaurant. And people tell us all throughout the year that they will go to hopedujour.org to find a restaurant when they can't figure out where to eat.
Oh, there you go. Well, what I like to do for Hope du Jour, because there's a whole list, and it's not just food restaurants.
Yes.
I like to see how many I can knock out in one day. So you got your coffee shops, you got your lunch spot, your breakfast spot, your dessert spot, and your dinner spot. So there's like...
We have a competition amongst the staff every year.
Who wins? Who won last year?
Margaret gets out there quite a bit.
She always does, because she does all the wonderful things that you can do. She goes and gets all the staff some breakfast. And then she goes out to breakfast and somewhere else, and she brings us in coffee, and then she takes everybody out to lunch, and then she goes out to dinner, and I think she goes out usually for drinks.
Oh yeah, you can even do drinks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's so many different ways. You don't just have to eat out once, but you can go out multiple times to support and make and take. That's another thing. Last year, Claire Calvin came on to talk with us about their make and take meals, but even with those, you can't eat out that day. Fill up your freezer for the next week. And
Salem Kitchen
and
is
Salem
a big
Kitchen, they
long-time
do
Hope
as
du
well.
Jour
Okay.
partner.
So there are a lot of make and take opportunities as well. So you can go beyond that day.
Now, for me, I'm using it as an excuse to go out to eat and have somebody else cook for me.
Yes.
That's awesome. So are there any new restaurants that are participating this year who have not been on the list in years past? that come to mind?
There are quite a few new restaurants.
Okay.
But you're just going to have to go to the website to see all of them, because there are so many. I don't want to highlight one or the other, but there are a lot of different. But we have had a lot of restaurants who have actually been in for the full 35 years. Haven't we, Abby?
Yeah, we've got Cagney's and Diamondback, of course, Vincenzo's, Ryan's, Ronnie's, and Clemens. That's the other thing. We're not just Winston. We're all of Forsyth County, getting food and beverage establishments in the door. Captain Tom's and Village Tavern, of course. So we've got long-standing relationships.
That's very impressive that you have ones that have been in for all 35 years.
Well, I think that speaks to going back to what Tammy mentioned. The food and beverage industry came together locally and wanted to do this and support us, and we wanted to support them. And so we've had their buy-in throughout, and I think that's why it's so successful.
Yeah. Where did the name come from?
Hope of the day, du jour of the day, like your soup of du jour. So
I love it.
When they were having those initial conversations, just, our vision statements, help for today, hope for tomorrow. And so being able to spread that we're still here to help people in their time of crisis.
That's awesome. So for people who maybe are not familiar, I think people are very familiar with Hope du Jour, but just as a recap, tell us about crisis control and what you guys do, and who you guys help, and all of those fun statistics.
Actually, I think you have a story about someone that we recently helped that gives an idea of what we do.
So just last week, we assisted Tabitha and her 16-year-old child. She got the flu back in February and had to be out of work for 2 weeks. And she actually ended up going to the emergency room. It got so bad. And she missed those hours at work. Her income's down. She needed help with her rent. I think it was around $804 for her rent for the month. And she had about $300 to contribute. So she could help pay a part of her rent and just needed a little help with the rest. We contacted her landlord to verify her rental amount and any fees she incurred, and the landlord told us she's been there for 5 years, had a great payment history, so we were able to help her with the remaining $500 towards her rent, and we have assisted her with food as well. So
that's great.
We help anyone who are experiencing a crisis. We define that as a circumstance beyond their control that prevents them from meeting essential needs. So things like unemployment, reduction in work hours, medical things that arise, theft, car repairs, etc. You can come to us. We understand any one of us are going to be in a situation at some point in our life where we just need a little help, and that's what we're here to do.
That's awesome. And I know you guys also have a food pantry and also a pharmacy. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to hear about that a little bit.
Yeah, so we've got 2 client choice food pantries, one in our main office, downtown Winston, and then another one in our satellite office in Kernersville. And we assist households. So every household who comes in through the interview process and gets approved can leave with 2 weeks worth of groceries, and they're client choice. For those of you who aren't familiar with client choice, they are set up like little mini grocery stores. We want it to be a dignified experience where folks can come in and shop for themselves and take what they need. We offer cleaning and hygiene items. In addition to pet food, we work with Forever Friends Pet Pantry and help those animals who need assistance when times are tight. So it's not just food, but we have lots of perishable food coming in as well. We partner with Food Lion and Trader Joe's and now Harris Teeter and Chick-fil-A and
oh my gosh, that's
Papa
awesome.
John's, Insomnia Cookies, Starbucks. So we are a pantry partner of Second Harvest Food Bank, and that allows us to establish these relationships with the grocery stores and be able to glean that food that's about to go bad and get it out there into the hands of those who really need it.
Yeah. Well, and I love that you say it's client choice, because I'm sure that's like to just go and get handed something that maybe you're allergic to that or don't like that. Or don't need that.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
We just
We
in
just
the
received,
past year.
Our pantry just received its gold certification as a Healthy Choice Pantry.
Wow.
So that we're very proud of that. We have volunteers and staff who shop with folks to help them to be able to make healthy choices. They may not know how to prepare certain foods. We also have some classes. We've partnered with the North Carolina Cooperative Extension to be able to give those classes to show folks how to use those fresh vegetables and fruits that we have in. And I think that's one that has been very well received by the clients that have participated.
Yeah, I love that because for me too, I'm like, okay, if I see something in the grocery store that I've never made before, it's not that I wouldn't want to, but if I had a little help to like say, well, this makes this really well, this makes this dish, you'd be much more likely to get it.
Mm-hmm. And we do taste testings now in the pantry. We're also working with Second Harvest and their nutrition education team. So it's very much a collaborative effort to make sure we're spreading awareness about how folks can eat healthy. And if they have diabetes, what are some better options for them as they're shopping in the pantry?
And we have a lot of that since we do have the pharmacy there. We have a free pharmacy, and you may want to talk a little bit more about what our pharmacy does.
Yeah, so we were the first free licensed pharmacy in the state of North Carolina. I think we're coming up on 39 years for the pharmacy.
Oh my goodness.
But we traditionally have helped folks who don't have health insurance or who are underinsured in that donut hole. And we're still helping those folks, but we last year applied to assist folks with Medicaid as well and got approval by the state and worked with the Medicaid contract folks. So now we're able to offer that service to the community as well. So if anyone's on Medicaid and needs prescriptions filled, they can come to us, as well as if you don't have health insurance and are underinsured. And I do want to say, we help folks from all different walks of life. We help those who are undocumented or refugees as well. They can come and get services from us and go through the process. So we're open to everyone.
Oh, that's awesome. So if you are going out to eat on the Hope du Jour event day, but you wanted to make like an additional donation to crisis control, is there an easy way to do that on your website?
Absolutely.
Okay.
When you go to the Hope du Jour website to find those restaurants, there's a little button that says extra helping.
Okay.
And you can give us an extra helping.
I love that.
By just clicking, and it'll take you to our donate page.
Yeah, that's perfect. And do you guys ever have any sort of volunteer opportunities?
Oh, and Al,
Yes.
You have the right person here to talk about that. We have some wonderful volunteers, and Abby's the person who coordinates all that.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, we have about 244 weekly volunteers with both offices. So these are individuals who have 3 hours a week to give back, and they help in the pantry or the pharmacy. You don't have to have a medical background. We can train you. They also help interview neighbors who are reaching out for assistance. So if you're looking for direct service opportunities or really want to understand the needs of the community, we've got some great opportunities. But we also have short-term special events going on, like Hope du Jour. We have a special projects committee that plans and helps facilitate Hope du Jour.
Oh,
so that's
okay.
a fun way you can get engaged with us. We just meet once a month or every other month for that committee. And it's a lunchtime meeting, so we have some fun. But there are all different sorts of events. You can go to crisiscontrol.org and check out our events page to see what's coming up and what opportunities we have there.
Yeah, it sounds like that would be really fun for a group too, to volunteer for like a friend group or a work group or a church group.
Yeah, we have opportunities mainly in the fall for groups because our largest food drive is at the Carolina Classic Fair. So after that donation comes in, we need lots of hands to help us sort all of that food. But we do have a couple events in May that are group oriented, happening in Kernersville. We have the Spring Folly parking lot fundraiser, and then we have the Stamp Out Hunger food drive where we need some help. And a lot of our groups who support us through volunteerism also go back and eat out for Hope du Jour.
Yeah.
Some of our church partners, I hear the church staff every lunch for Hope du Jour, they're going out. Or we've recently heard that Reverend Warner at Augsburg Lutheran Church, he picks a breakfast establishment and a lunch establishment, and he tells his congregation, come have breakfast with the pastor or lunch with the pastor.
Oh, that's a great idea.
It's a great way to bring community together while still supporting us. And everyone likes to eat out anyways.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely a good excuse to go out to eat.
Yeah.
It is definitely a good excuse to get together. Yes.
So tell us one more time how we can find the list of participating restaurants for Hope du Jour.
And that is at Hope du, D-U, Jour, JOUR.org.
Okay.
But if you can't remember that, you can always go to crisiscontrol.org, and it is right there on the front page with a link to get to that page.
Awesome.
That's always hard when you're talking about it. It's Hope du Jour, and nobody knows how to spell it. So.
That's
it's
so
French.
true.
It's hope of the day.
Exactly.
I'm glad you spelled it. So Tuesday, May 6th, y'all go ahead and be thinking about where you're going to go out to breakfast, out to lunch, and out to dinner. I'm already thinking of where I'm going to go. And be sure to check out Crisis Control. Are you guys on social media?
We are. We're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram.
Okay. Is it at Crisis Control? Is it like have
I
it
think
in?
it's Crisis Control Inc.
Okay.
For the Facebook.
Okay.
Instagram's Crisis Control Ministry.
Okay. Well, we'll put the links in our show notes there so people can just click right on that and they can find your list. Always fun to talk with you ladies. And remind me, we'll have to do an article in the fall about the needing help for the fair food drive afterwards.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I coordinate over 300 volunteers.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I would love to help promote that. I'd love for the magazines to get a team to help, and then we can also do a little article.
And that's also just a lot of fun to get out to the fair to it. Again, it's another fun excuse to get a group of folks together to support community.
Yeah, because doing something that's helpful for other people together is always even better.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks, ladies.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yeah, and as always, you can find Forsyth Mags online at forsythmags.com, and we're on Instagram at Forsyth Mags, and that's it for today. The views and opinions stated on this podcast are solely those of the contributors and not necessarily those of our distributors or hosting companies. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced without expressed written consent of Forsyth Magazines Incorporated. Ooh, that's a mouthful.